I'm just so pleased you've got good manners. It wasn't easy to strike the right balance with your programming. At first you couldn't have cared less about the social niceties like please and thank you.
Well, that's hard to picture.
But that was nothing to the problems we encountered. Never mind. I don't want to embarrass you.
I am incapable of embarrassment. Please continue.
Well, the one thing that we couldn't anticipate was that you didn't seem to mind about being naked. Some of the colonists objected to having an anatomically correct android running around without any clothes on.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Fully Functional, TNG Podcast. I'm Maggie, joined by Jeff and Dory.
Yo.
Jeff and I are veteran Trekkies, and Dory is a newly minted full Trekkie, and we are taking her on her first journey through Star Trek: The Next Generation, continuing our journey through the home stretch of Season 7. Today's episode that we are discussing is Inheritance. Original air date is November 20th, 1993. And as always, we'll take it to Dory for the recap.
Okay, so we start off. The Atrean government has requested assistance in averting a natural disaster. 2 of their geologists have come aboard the Enterprise, one of whom is a human who's been living in Atrea. Gasp. Okay, so we meet the 2 of them. We got Pran, and the human is Juliana, or Dr. Juliana Tainer, but I just call her Juliana. It's fine. Okay, so we learn the molten core of this planet. Okay, I'm just going to read literally what they say in the episode. Molten core of the planet isn't just cooling. It's begun to solidify. The gravitational field has been affected. Seismic activity has increased by a factor of 3. If the cooling continues at this rate, Atrea will become inhabitable in 13 months. Oh no. Geordi's like,
I think
could...
uninhabitable.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Okay, then I spelled it. I wrote inhabitable.
Yeah.
You'll be able to live there in 13 months. Oh, thank God.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Geordi said they could minimize the seismic activity by creating isobaric fissures and relieving some of the tectonic stress, but it would just be a temporary fix. But Data's like, there's only one permanent solution, and it would be to reliquefy the core. And Data's idea is like they use the Enterprise phasers to drill down through the planet's surface, and they would fire... Listen, I did the best I could at summarizing some of this, but they're gonna fire shit into the planet, which will trigger another thing and then another thing. So
and
then
it'll remelt the core, basically.
Yeah, it'll reliquefy. So
none of this shit really matters.
Yeah, this is the most science you're getting from me this episode, because the rest of the time this comes up, I am playing real fast and loose with words there. So Geordi goes to help the other guy, Pran, with like geological surveys, and Juliana comes up to Data, and she's like, do you know who I am? And he's like, yeah, you're Juliana Tainer. And no, she is, but also she is Data's mother.
Gasp.
Yeah, she's like, I helped create you, Data. I'm your mom. And I immediately was like, I don't know that I necessarily doubt this, but I don't feel great about it. I also, like, up until this point, I don't think we've ever heard that Dr. Soong had married. She's like, yeah, I was married to Dr. Soong. We worked together on androids and made you. And she's, like, very psyched to see Data. But he's like, cool, I have no memory of you. And she's like, yeah, that's because we wiped your processors after we finished refining his programming. So then she's like, Data, you did have a childhood, but it was interesting. He struggled with motor skills and learning how to process sensory information. And then they wiped his mind after the childhood phase, and they had planned to reactivate Data, but then the crystalline entity attacked, and there was only room for 2 in the escape pod. So Data is immediately kind of like, did I write suspicious? I don't know.
Well, he is, so
he is,
yeah, that's a proper thing to say.
Oh, skeptical. I wrote skeptical,
Skeptical,
not
yeah.
suspicious. I wrote he's skeptical. And he does check. There is a Juliana O'Donnell mentioned in some of the journals from the colonists. And she's like, yep, that's me. And there is no mention really that like Dr. Soong was ever married to her, because he does some research and yeah, there's not much there. And Juliana's like, yeah, well, like my mom wasn't like super into this relationship.
So they got married in like
Apparently-
secret, basically.
Yeah, apparently there's like a big age difference in which I'm concerned. We don't really know how old anyone was, but the fact that her mother was concerned and was not happy about this does make me, it does worry me.
Yeah.
So Juliana is like, oh yeah, Dr. Soong always found like romance and stuff. And Data's like, yeah, for sure. He definitely had a unique way of looking at things. And she's like, oh, I didn't know you met him. And he's like, yeah, I totally did, right before he died. And this is news to her. She did not know he died. And she's like, yeah, I left him because he loved his work more than me, basically.
Yeah.
But but she does want to get to know Data. And she does, this actually kind of makes Data like visibly uncomfortable. And he says to her, okay, they're sitting in 10 forward, I forgot. And she puts her hand on his, and then he's like uncomfortable, and then he says, this has been an interesting encounter, and then he slides his hand out from under hers. Then he goes, and an altogether unexpected one. I would like to corroborate your story before we proceed further. Excuse me, doctor. And so yeah, he does more research. He can't really confirm or deny their marriage, but he did find transport records with both their names. At the same time, they go to this other planet and they come back 4 days later. So Data points out that, just because they went to the planet doesn't mean they got married. But Geordi seems to be like very pro mom camp. And I don't, here's the thing. To me, my first thought is like, because of what recently happened with Geordi a few episodes ago, of course he loves the idea of a surprise mom coming back.
Yeah.
So but I also at the same time, I'm like, I'm sure the writers probably aren't even thinking about that either.
No.
They were not. No.
This
Not
probably
at
has not occurred. And my first thought was, oh my God, that makes so much sense that he just lost his mom, and he like truly just, the idea of surprise like reunion with mom is like so sweet and so nice. But I remembered what show I was watching, and I was like,
Yeah.
you almost got me. You almost got me.
Yeah. I think it's definitely fair for Data to be skeptical. I also think I don't think they necessarily did a good job of showing it in the episode. So I'm just gonna take what Geordi is saying at face value, that that their intention was to make Data seem like more reluctant than one should necessarily be.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, Data also has good reason to be mistrustful of this.
Yeah.
And that's something I was pointing out in my notes. Like if
Yeah.
I were Data, I would also be skeptical. And partially it's because of just how quickly she comes on.
Yeah, and Geordi mentions this, but they kind of brush it off in that,
Yeah,
he
because
does
she was
say,
like, why would
they're-
someone pretend to be your mom?
Yeah, and I'm like, I can think of a few reasons, honestly.
Yeah, so can I.
Yeah, same with me. I wrote down some
But
things.
but the script says there isn't a reason, so
Yeah, but I do think it's it's Star Trek, so it's not super unlikely, but I think it is relatively unlikely that someone would lie about being his mom, and in this specific situation she also hasn't really
She hasn't asked anything of him.
Well, also, what Data should probably have realized is that he is the Spock of TNG, and therefore secret family members are definitely his, entire stick. But for the record, Dory, the first time that you meet Spock's parents, Kirk and Spock meet them together, and after they leave, I think, they just kind of nonchalantly find out that they're that this is actually Spock's father, and his mother, and he's just like, why didn't you tell me that? And Spock just kind of looks at the camera for a moment. You're like, okay, there's not a good relationship there.
Yeah.
Aye.
But Star Trek loves to spring an unmentioned family member on us.
Party. That Geordi reminds Data that Dr. Soong wanted to give Data the emotion chip, which included memories, possibly of this childhood that Juliana mentioned. And yeah, he's like, why would someone pretend to be your mom? I did write down reasons. I'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
So then Geordi says, I can understand that this might be a little disconcerting for you, Data. It came out of the blue and it doesn't fit into your logical processors. And then Data says, that is true. And then Geordi says, but that's life, Data. Part of being human is learning how to deal with the unexpected, to risk new experiences, even when they don't fit into your preconceptions. And then Data says, I admit I am finding it difficult to accept the possibility of a past about which I know nothing. But it is also true I am curious to learn more about it. So Data decides to really jump in feet first into the deep end, and he finds Juliana in 10 forward and calls her mother.
I half expected him to say mom in that really insincere tone.
Yeah.
Where he's trying to figure out the correct way to say something.
All I think is call her mother. So Juliana tells Data that she wanted him actually to be female, but Dr. Soong wanted a son. Listen, the more I learn about Dr. Soong, the less I like him.
Yeah, no, he's definitely supposed to be an asshole.
He's a narcissist.
Yeah.
Because she also says that it's he walked in with Data's head, and he's like, well, it's your choice if you want him to be a boy or a girl. And it's obviously he's already made him in his own image. So it's okay.
Yeah.
Am I going to make him a girl with your face? Obviously not.
Yeah. So, it's fucking weird. So then she walks with him down the hallway, and they stop in front of Troy's office, I guess. Juliana, or her quarters or office. Yeah, I wasn't sure. And Juliana goes, Deanna Troi, is that who you're going to visit? And then Data goes, yes. And then Juliana goes, oh, your father would be so pleased. And then Data goes, pleased? And then Juliana goes, well, he was, did I write warned? Oh, worried. He was worried that the sexuality program he designed for you wouldn't work. And then Data's like, you misunderstood. Counselor Troi is a therapist. And then Juliana goes, good night.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
It's nice to know that his priority, based on other things that, we also learned in this episode, that he's like, I want my android clone of myself to fuck.
Yeah.
But creativity, we don't care for her.
Yeah, and
Jesus Christ, truly,
yeah,
he sucks.
And Juliana's misinformed about this situation, but Juliana is fully functional.
Yeah, I was like, this is so fucking weird that this is something that was weirdly important to Dr. Soong. But also I was like, the fact that also that she was like, oh, this Troi, this woman, I was like, is this homophobic also? I'm unsure now. The vibes are so strange that I'm like, she's so into his sex life for this one scene, and she's like, oh, it's a woman, oh, I'm glad you're fucking, and I'm like,
I guess
what?
Yeah.
What is happening?
Yeah, it's weird, but it's like that old, it's like, oh, you're visiting a lady late at night.
Yeah.
And I guess it's supposed to be one of those old school mother things of oh, I don't know, friendly teasing or whatever. I don't know. It's a little weird.
It's weird. Yeah. Okay, so now I didn't write where we were, but new scene.
Yeah.
Data tells Juliana that they will be in position over. Oh, maybe this might be in engineering. They would be over the drilling site in 3 minutes 29 seconds. I meant to time it, but I forgot. She puts her hand on his shoulder, and he immediately clocks it.
Yeah.
And I just wrote, I don't like this. For some reason, this makes me uncomfortable. The way that she like touches him, and it's not like weird. She's not being weird about
Yeah,
it.
no,
It's just she's just touching him on his shoulders.
It's a neutral touch, but it is just.
It
she's
made
getting,
me uncomfortable.
But she's getting familiar very fast.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So Geordi made some adjustments to the phasers to create this fucking hole. Doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
And Data thinks Geordi, and Juliana is like very psyched that Data has good manners, because originally Data did not have manners. He was quote unquote downright rude. And Juliana then like does a whole weird production about like she doesn't want to embarrass Data about his old iteration of himself. She's like, I don't want to, and I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah, because she stops herself from telling another like essentially childhood story about Data, and she's like, I don't want to embarrass you. And Data's like, well, I can't
be
get embarrassed.
Yeah. He's like, yeah. So we learn that previously Data was a big fan of nudity for himself, not other people. Just like he liked being naked. The colonists objected to him having anatomically correct. They objected to having an anatomically correct android running around without any clothes on.
Yeah.
So they had to create a modesty subroutine to get him to wear clothes.
Yeah.
Because originally Data didn't think that clothes were necessary, as he's not affected by the elements.
He's like, there's no point to this. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, weird anecdote about your quote unquote son.
To be fair, that is some shit that is a story a mom would tell about her kid to like embarrass them.
Yeah. The only problem I have here with it is because it's adult Data.
Yeah.
Running around dick out. So like it's not like it's cute, funny, whatever, silly little child, like some 3-year-old, 4-year-old. It's like, oh ha ha, that kid doesn't want to put his shorts on. But a grown ass dick out Data is something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Riker confirms that they are at the drilling spot. They're ready to start. And then Pran is like, oh, did you guys like check Data's work? And Riker's like, no, we fucking trust Data's work. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, because he specifically says like he's a machine, so did anyone double check? Like yeah.
But Riker's like, shut the fuck up, my guy. We super trust Data.
Yeah.
They fire into the planet. Data's plan works, and now they just have to like now wait for the next whatever to happen.
Yeah.
So Juliana now wants to like hang out with Data right this exact second. She wants to see his quarters. So I wrote, ooh, she's about to find out she's a grandmother. I meant Spot.
Oh,
I did not mean it in the way that ended up, in which I got teared up. Okay, so Juliana then listens to Data play the violin, and I like kept worrying that like Data was going to trigger something in her that made her want to like get with Data or something, because he looked like Dr. Soon.
Oh, yeah.
Because of like the whole like, oh, she's super interested in his sex life, and then like the nudity thing. I'm like, she's not gonna try to fuck him, or is she?
No.
Thankfully she doesn't. Does not.
No, it doesn't go that way. It's just one of those things where like,
a bit.
You know, sometimes where people have parents where they're just a little, it feels like they're a little too comfortable discussing that stuff with each other.
Yeah.
So it's like she just has like poor boundaries.
Like she doesn't. Yeah. It was weird.
What I wanted to point out about it is that she probably hasn't actually had a chance to talk about this in a long time. And like, yes, poor boundaries. I completely agree with that. And yes, this is the writers leaning into what do moms do, but also
Have they ever had a mom?
Like
Because I don't know if
legitimately
they, 'cause
in
based on
universe.
this, I don't know that they did.
Yeah,
Here's the thing,
legitimately in universe. I think it makes sense for her.
It does, and here's the thing, I do think this is actually realistic because I have seen moms do this.
Yep.
Where it's like they're not quite crossing the line, but they're getting close, and it's like, I feel
They're
like you're
towing it.
a little too comfortable with this,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? So I don't think it's that, like, that out of the realm of reality.
I don't know. Maybe just
Yeah.
like all of this sort of combined, it made me very uncomfortable with her.
Yeah.
That I just was at this point sort of like thinking the worst. I was really honestly worried about Data and her at this point.
Yeah, I guess because I know where the episode is going, so I don't have that fear. But I can definitely see how if it's your first time watching it, you're like, oh, where is this going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Juliana is very impressed by Data's performance, and she said that she actually was the one that wanted him to have a creative aspect, because Dr. Soong was like, I don't see the point of giving Data a creative outlet. And so I wrote my notes, what good did Dr. Soong contribute? Because up until now, I don't,
Yeah.
it seems like everything nice about Data is from her.
Yeah.
So Juliana said, he thought that since you don't have emotions, there would be no real need for you to express yourself. Somehow I had the feeling that the opposite would be true. And then Data says, I do not know for certain, but I believe it is during my creative endeavors. Oh no, doing or during? I don't know.
During, I believe.
During my creative endeavors that I came closest to experience what it must be like to be human. So then Juliana asked Data if she can join him in the concert tomorrow, as she's also familiar with the piece.
Yeah. I just have like a some stuff to say about that because
Sure.
Because Data, like, it can be a lot of autistic people identify with Data a lot, right? And one of the things that I've one of the common things is like autistic people often have trouble telegraphing and expressing their emotions in a way that like the people that aren't neurodivergent like don't really get. And I've noticed that like a lot of autistic people have like tattoos, and there's a lot of autistic artists and stuff like that, where it's like there's I mean there. Like, my belief is everyone's an artist, but whatever. But I find that, for me, my sort of theory on this is that, like, because we tend to, like, not have more trouble expressing our emotions, that, like, it's easier for us to do that outwardly. Like, we express ourselves, like, by being more creative, by doing more, having more outward symbols of how we feel inside, like tattoos, like colorful hair, quirky clothes, like drawing stuff, like making different types of art and that sort of thing. So I feel like that very much parallels with this, where it's like because Data doesn't have emotions in the classical sense, in like the traditional sense, that his creativity allows him to have like emotions in a way. Like he like truly, if he didn't have any creativity, he would be like in a prison, like in an emotional prison from my perspective. So I think that's just a really that obviously was not the writer's intentions at the time, but I think that just fits really well.
I mean, the writers are very much going out of their way in this episode to put Data in situations where he has to react to somebody else being very emotional.
Yeah.
And they're like contrasting that in every scene that they can.
Yeah. And this just coincidentally today I was having a conversation about why I fucking hate generative AI and stuff, and one of the things I said was that I feel like this is there's a lot of reasons I hate it, but one of the reasons is that I just feel like it's stealing humanity, because I find the process of creating art, like, is the thing that makes humanity special and unique. Like, it is inherently, like, human to create, and that, like, the point of art is the process of it, right? It's not the result, it's the process.
Yeah.
We can enjoy the
agreed.
result, but, like, the whole reason art is rewarding is because of the process of making it.
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, so
And the friendships they made along the way.
Yeah. So this is where, like, I agree with what they wrote for Data, where he's like, when I'm being creative is, like, I feel like it's the closest I am to experiencing humanity. So I just really, I don't know, I just really liked that bit where it's like I really agree with the point they're making there. Yeah. Just so sorry. I just wanted to bring that up while we were here.
No, totally valid. Totally valid.
Yeah.
I'm on board. 100% on board. So Juliana asks Data if she can join him in the concert, because she knows the Handel piece, but then she needs to practice. She needs a viola, and I'm like, girl,
We're in the future.
what are you doing? What are you talking about? And I was like, what did you think you were? Because she's like, I need something to practice. So he's like, oh yeah, I'll get a viola from the replicator. I was like, what were we doing here? I was so confused. Like, I get what's happening, but I was like, this is so kind of out of pocket in a way of, like, what is happening?
What do you mean?
It felt just very particular that she's just like, hey, can I just join you? And I'm like, girl, with what? You know this piece, like, immediately, but you don't have anything with you? You don't have, where's your viola, man? Like, where the fuck is yours? But Data's like, oh, I can just do this. And I'm like, if we didn't have this, where would you have gotten the viola from? Do you not have one? So I just, like, the logistics, rather. I was like, where are you going with this? I just, the logistics of having a viola. I was like, where are we going with this? So then she gets, though, distracted by Data's pile of paintings on the ground, and she grabs one.
Yeah, she grabs it. She looks at a few, but we don't get to see them.
Yeah. I was like, what did I write? So she looks through Data's paintings while he grabs a viola from the crew off screen. He literally just, like, walks out of frame with no viola and then walks back in with a viola.
Yeah.
And then Juliana asks, oh, who is this? And it is a frightening portrait of Lol. And I actually had totally forgotten about her, so it was kind of funny that I had written that, like, she's about to find out she's a grandmother. I meant Spot, but
yeah,
Lol is
it looks
who
like
popped in.
It looks like a photograph with just, like, a default, like, painterly filter on it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
So Juliana, though, she gets, like, excited to learn that she is a grandchild, but then Data's like, actually, Lol is dead.
Yeah.
And she is,
like,
visibly shaken up by that.
Yeah, she's
this
like, oh,
really
where
is, like,
she?
upsetting.
And he said, like, oh, unfortunately, she only lived for a short time.
Yeah. Oh, Lol. May her memory be a blessing. And I had so many theories through this episode. I did write at this point, what if Juliana and Data, like, get Lol back up and running? And then Juliana could, like, work on how to get Lol going, like, full time.
Yeah.
So, but they don't.
Yeah.
So Data and Juliana, they practice together in 10 Forward. And Juliana asks Data if he planned to make another android again. And he's just like, I don't know, maybe, perhaps. And this, so Juliana's then like, it's, like, hard as fuck to make an android. And there were actually, like, 3 attempts prior to Lore. So keep that the fuck in mind.
Yeah. And that was a bombshell, because Data didn't know that there were ones before before Lore.
Lore, yeah. And so she says, like, after the pain of losing the other 3 androids, Juliana actually didn't want to make any more up until that point. And she says, I don't think you had the right to bring a life into the world with so little chance of surviving. But Dr. Soong was like, no, it's fine. Let's do it again. I can fix what's wrong. And then they ended up with Lore.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely. You nailed it. You fixed what was wrong, Dr. Soong. Great job, man. But then Lore sucked so much they dismantled him.
Yeah.
I wrote...
Because he was a piece of shit.
No, I wrote... This is so stupid, but... I wrote, Dr. Soong was the DJ Khaled of making androids. Another one.
Nice.
So Dr. Soong then wanted to make an android without emotions, and so Data was basically the miracle baby in this situation. But Juliana was actually, as a plot twist, against his creation.
Yeah.
But he turned out great, so, like, now she's on board, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but I did note, is anyone going to tell her that Data's committed murder and also teamed up with Lore before?
Well,
What happens when she finds out about that? It's not, like, malicious, but, like, Data does have, we'll call it a track record.
Yeah.
And also, does she know Laura's still out there?
Oh, yeah.
Because Laura's fully he ran away.
Yeah.
Right? So, like...
Yeah, Data does mention meeting Lore, so she probably assumes he's still out there somewhere.
I don't know, because I feel like she would have had a bigger reaction if she knew that Lore was out there somewhere.
Yeah, important to note that she was against creating Data because she was afraid he'd turn out like Lore. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So then Data asks why she never contacted him prior. If she's so, because she's like, oh, I've kept track of your stuff and I'm so proud of you. And he's like, cool, but like you never reached out prior, even though you're so proud of his accomplishments. But she feels guilty. And I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, because the writers hadn't thought of me yet.
Yeah. So then... Then Juliana says, I lied when I said there was no room for you in the escape pod we took from Omicron. There was. I didn't want to bring you with us. I was afraid if we reactivated you, you'd turn out like Lore. I made Noonan leave you behind. Gasp. Plot twist.
Yeah.
But then she puts her hand on Data's face and rushes out of 10 forward. She's kind of like
before Data even gets a chance to respond.
Yeah. Okay, so now back to science. So there's a complication with this particle beam. More science stuff. Juliana fixes it. Data, Juliana, and Pran, I think is
Yeah, Pran.
They're all back on the planet doing science. But then they make a point that they're sweaty. That Pran is kind of sweaty, but then they do a weird close-up that show that Juliana is kind of sweaty. And I'm like, okay, what is this? Where are we going with this?
Yeah.
Nowhere, really. So Pran... Oh,
there is sort of a point, but I'll get to it later. Yeah, we'll get to it later.
But it's like up until this point, it doesn't look like anything.
Yeah.
I also only realized in this exact moment that Pran is Juliana's current husband.
Yeah.
I just thought they worked together. I didn't realize until this point.
Yeah.
Because he's like, yeah, Juliana told me last night about your conversation, and it's okay to be angry. But Data's like, yeah, I'm not capable of anger, so it's like fine.
Yeah.
But he does want Juliana to clarify her reasons for leaving him behind.
Yeah.
And so Data asks if he was her biological child, would she have still left him behind? And she's like, no, of course not. There's a lot here that
There's a lot to unpack, yeah. Well,
Yep,
she doesn't say
not...
of course not. She just says
she's
she
like,
wouldn't.
Yeah. But I'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll yeah. So then Data says, is that because you place more value on biological life than artificial life? And then Juliana says, absolutely not. I cherished every android your father and I created as if it were my child, even Lore, despite the fact that he turned on us, despite the dreadful things he did. Dismantling him was the most difficult thing I ever had to do. I was afraid that if you turned out like him, I would have to dismantle you too. And I couldn't bear to do that. I'm not trying to justify leaving you behind. I'm just sorry I did. I hope you believe me. And then Data says, I do. Thank you for making it clear to me. And then I immediately wrote Mother Boy Recital in 10 Forward. They're performing together.
Yeah.
In 10 Forward. Good job. Applause. It's intense. They're playing a very intense piece.
Did you
so-
mention that Juliana, she like there's like a crisis and she solves it really fast? Because that's
I did. I
before
just
the
said there was a
violin.
problem. Yeah, I said
Okay,
there was a
yeah.
problem and she fixed it.
Yeah.
I didn't say how fast because also at the time when I was writing this, it didn't occur to me that it was anything.
Oh, okay. No, because
I just note that there was a problem, she fixed it. That's what I said.
yeah, it's the way they shot it. It's subtle, but the way they shot it. I think Data gives a look that he's surprised she solves it so fast.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
I personally didn't notice anything.
Yeah,
No, didn't catch it at all. I know that she fixed it, but I didn't
yeah.
I didn't think there was anything significant about it. So then Data goes to see Dr. C, and he's like, I want to see Juliana's medical records.
Oh, did you not notice? Because in the violin part, they do like the close up of her eyes, and Data
Yeah.
like really stares at her.
I also
skeptically.
didn't realize there was anything. I knew that like there was tension because they were playing very intense.
Yeah.
And she but I honestly, I don't know. I didn't notice much from that.
Yeah, because while they're playing, Data does a double take. Like he looks at her, looks away, and then looks back again.
Yeah, I know that he was watching her, but I didn't think there was much to it other than was he thinking, oh, she's really good.
Yeah.
Listen, I either catch everything or I catch nothing.
Yeah.
There is no in between.
Yeah. To be fair, I know where this is going. I've watched this before, and what they're doing is very subtle.
It is,
So-
yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
catch any of it.
So I just wanted to point it out while we're in the recap that they did put these little subtle things leading up to it.
So yeah, Data wants to see her medical records, and he's hoping that Dr. C can determine if there's anything wrong with her by her transporter trace pattern. And Dr. C's like, yeah, but I don't really share medical records unless there's a super duper good reason. And Data's
Yeah.
like, I promise I have a super duper good reason, but I can't tell you. And then she fucking agrees.
She literally
like,
breaks her Hippocratic oath
Dr.
because
C.
Data's like,
Yeah. We
I,
already know Dr. C is not the most concerned with patient confidentiality,
No.
with medical ethics.
She's medical ethics, we don't know her. I love Dr. C, but I just wrote in capital letters, Dr. C agrees to show him. No. So she says, at first glance, Juliana
Yeah, Data's
appeared...
like, please don't ask me to explain, but I promise it's super good.
Yeah, she was like, don't worry, say less. I'll just help you. So she says, look, at first glance, Juliana appears to have a mild case of hypertension, which is normal for someone her age. But then she's like, Data, what are we looking for? What are the symptoms? And Data's like, nothing. There is none, but I have reason to believe she's not who she claims to be. And I was like, oh, okay. So there is now, oh boy, what did I write? Incident on the planet.
Yeah.
And if they
Some
don't
bullshit's going wrong.
do the science, then the core won't. Oh, the core's solidifying, and then but it's dangerous. Oh no, science is dangerous.
Yeah.
So Data and Juliana go down to the planet to finish the science.
Yeah.
And so I just wrote, they're at the bottom of this huge tunnel that was made by the Enterprise, and I just wrote the shaft is clear.
Yeah.
Because someone says that. I think Data does. And I
Yeah.
just was like,
Yeah, because some bullshit some shit is collapsing, and they have to
Yeah.
fix some whatever. Yeah.
yeah. So they go through these tunnels or whatever. They reprogram this device thing, lots of seismic activity. And they go back to the transportation devices. But oh no, the floor has collapsed and the devices have fallen over. And the only way they can get there is they have to do big jump. So Data's like, let's jump. And she's like, I don't know. They do jump.
Yeah, because it's
Data lands
really,
on his
really
feet.
high. Yeah.
Yeah, he lands on his feet like a cat. And then he turns around, and I was shocked. Her arm is off. She's also an android.
Yup.
I did
Big
not see that
reveal.
coming.
Yeah.
I was shocked. So now we're back on the Enterprise, and Geordi, her head is open. They just like her little forehead panel is open,
Yeah.
and Geordi's, futzing around in there. And he says basically she's a Soong type android, except everything about her is designed to feel
fool you.
designed to fool you into thinking she's human. And then Dr. C says she has tear ducts, sweat glands, even veins and capillaries underneath her skin. And then Riker's like, why did the scanner read her as human? And Dr. C's like, oh, it's because she has a feedback processor designed to send out false biosignal. And Geordi's like, yeah, it's part of her aging program. Not only does she age in appearance like Data, her vital signs change too.
Yeah.
But Dr. C is like, I understand why she's like lost consciousness. Like everything appears fine. She should be awake. And then I had two theories. One was, is she pretending and just going to pop up at some point and scare the shit out of everyone and kill everyone, or try to kill everyone? Or can she not wake up until her head is closed?
Yeah.
So I did think of this. That was my second theory here. Is
And-
like, does she not know? And she just
very,
is like open. Her head is open, so she can't be awake.
And very offhandedly, they confirm that Data ages.
Yeah.
Because Geordi says, like, just like Data, she ages.
Yep.
Yeah. So then Data... oh, wow. Okay, now that I'm thinking about it, so then was Data a child when he was running around naked, or was an adult?
I don't.
You still think he was an adult?
Yeah, I don't think he grew in that way.
Oh, okay. He just like
Yeah.
can kind of age. Okay,
He
gotcha.
grew
gotcha. Okay.
beginning at a certain point.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. So Data suggests checking her positronic matrix, and Data then says that he suspected she was an android because he saw her doing complex calculations without the computer, and then
Yeah,
she
that was the
like blinked her
crisis with-
eyes. Yeah, that I didn't think anything of. And then she
Yeah.
blinked her eyes in a certain way, certain intervals that he was programmed for the same mathematical formula. So it made him look random. So he recognized that. Again, I did not clock this.
Yeah.
And then she, in the performance, she played identically in like the practice. Again, didn't clock that.
Yeah.
Nor should anyone have noticed it but him, and they do point that out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because they say, like, Data has a specific, like, sort of algorithm for his blinks. So there is
Yeah.
a pattern to it, but it's so complex that, like, the average person wouldn't really notice that. But
Yeah.
Data's able to notice it, so he noticed her having the same pattern in her blinks.
Yeah. So then they don't think that her husband, Pran, knows about this. And then Geordi finds this information module in her head. It's with a holographic interface. And Data puts it into the holodeck. And we get Dr. Soong.
With really bad makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say that this scene was like impressive in the way that you totally forget this is the same guy
Yeah.
talking to himself, basically. Like same actor talking to himself, but two different characters. I thought that was pretty impressive. But I really, Dr. Soong, if he was a real guy, he'd be on my enemies list.
Yeah.
So we learned that Juliana was actually, she's not technically his mother, but she was created after him. And he was married to a woman named Juliana O'Donnell, but she was injured in the crystalline entity attack, and then she slipped into a coma and she died. And he decided to move her memories into this android.
Yeah.
And he just couldn't stand the thought of losing the only woman that he loved. And then a few days after the real Juliana died, he activated the android. And I have thoughts, but I think I should wait till the recap's done. So he just like let her, when she woke up, he just let her think, oh yeah, you had an injury and you're fine.
Yeah.
And so she does not know that she is an android.
Yeah.
And so Dr. Soong, his biggest thing is, oh, he never really let her know how much he loved her, so she left him. And I just wrote, good for her.
Yeah. He does
so
say,
he-
like, the real Juliana would have left also.
Yeah. Again, good for her.
Yeah.
So Dr. Soong doesn't
And
So go ahead.
Dr. Soon is a jackass and an asshole, but in fairness, he didn't try to stop her or anything. He wasn't like, oh,
Yes.
reset or whatever. He was just like,
Yeah.
he respected her free will in a way.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he doesn't think that she needs to know she's an android. She was designed to shut down in the event that the truth was discovered. So, yeah, so I was kind of right in that sense that she just like, when her head is open, she's out.
Yeah.
But when they close it and she's back to human mode, then she's up.
She'll wake up, yeah.
So like we should put the chip back and just like carry on. And he's like, all you have to do is just make up some excuse about what happened to her. And he programmed her to die at some point in the future. So just like, let her believe she's human, let her live. So then in the conference room, they discuss whether or not Data should tell Juliana if she's an android. Dr. C's like, maybe tell her, but Troy's like, maybe don't. Actually.
Yeah.
And then I had an opinion on here, but again, I'll wait till the discussion portion of the episode.
Yeah.
Because we're so close to the end of the recap. So Picard then brings up, like, what if she finds out in the future? So, like, maybe Data should tell her. But Dr. C's like, also, if it were me, I'd want to hear it from my son rather than a stranger. And I just wrote, LOL, Wes. And then Data says, I find I'm having difficulty separating what would be best for her from what would be best for me. And then Troy says, what do you mean? And then Data says, if she knew she was an android, she were an android, we would have something to share. I would no longer be alone in the universe. And then Troy says, I know how much that means to you, Data, but at the same time, by telling her you're robbing her of the one thing you've wanted. Oh boy, what did I write? You've wanted...
Your whole life, I believe, is what she says.
Probably. I cannot read the word after one. Oh, all. It's all. Yeah.
Oh, all your life.
I thought it was an S and an E, and I'm like, sell your life? That doesn't make sense. You've wanted all your life to be human. Okay.
Yeah.
So then Data...
I just also want to mention that Data's like, this is what Dr. Soon said, but I don't give a shit about what his wishes are. Which I appreciated.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
So then Data puts the information module back in Juliana. The science and the planet is safe. Oh yeah, she wakes up and she puts the data, the module thing back in her head. He closes her forehead and she wakes up and she's like, oh hey. And he's like, you broke your arm or whatever, you're fine now. Yeah. So yeah, planet is saved, blah blah blah. Okay, so now we're in the
sorry. I was just gonna make it I was just gonna say, so he decides not to tell her is the thing.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that after, because like in this next scene, it sounded like he was like contemplating at one point.
Oh, okay.
So because then they're in the transporter room, they're saying goodbye, and he's like, "I'll visit you on my next leave," and then Data says, "There is something I think you should know," and I was like, "Ooh, what's gonna be this?" And so this is when I was like, "Is he gonna tell her?" And then he goes, my father told me that he had only one great love in his life and that he regretted never telling her how much he cared for her. I am certain he was referring to you. Mm-hmm. And then she says, that's nice to know. On Atreya, there is a saying that a child born from parents who love each other will have nothing but goodness in his heart. I guess that explains you. Mm-hmm. And she gives him a kiss on the cheek. And she makes like a baby and heads out.
Yeah. I apologize. I forgot about the transporter scene. I also want to say the way, like, it is a cheek kiss, but the way
I thought she was full out about to kiss him on the mouth.
Yeah.
It's a very bad angle.
Yeah. It fully looked like she was going to give him like a full mouth kiss, but it was just a kiss on the cheek. But
honestly, though, by the end of this episode, I was like, if she does mouth kiss him, I'm like, that is the vibe of this episode in a certain way. Okay.
The episode goes hard and fast, which is interesting because the episode doesn't have much of a B plot. Like, the B plot only exists to
It's the
prop up
science.
the A plot. Actually,
Yeah. In my
And-
opinion, I thought it was a good balance. It's just like, it gives the characters a thing to do, but it doesn't get in the way.
Oh no, I agree with that. I'm just saying there is technically a lot of like character building story in this episode, and it still feels like it's a little fast.
Yeah.
Just because the episode doesn't really like, it's really hard to build a relationship this deep in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
The episode is also unironically very lore heavy. Get
Yeah.
it? Lore heavy. Because like it relies a lot on the audience member being very familiar with Data's like past connections and relationships
Yeah.
and all that.
And to be honest, the way how popular the show was at this point, I think that was fair for the show to do. I think with how how popular it was and how mainstream and stuff, I think it was okay that they assumed the audience knew enough about his past. Because he does, they explain who Lol is, they explain enough about who Lore is. If you happened to, not know, you get an explanation. Oh, also, I just want to say, because she said that thing about, how, children born to parents who love each other, blah, blah, blah. I guess they didn't love each other when they made Lore, because he does not have love in his heart.
True.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so let's sort of the thing that kind of was kind of fucked up to me the most is that he made an android of a person.
Yeah.
That was a real person who died, did not give any kind of consent. He just was like, I'm not done with her.
Yeah, it's fucked up to do. I understand why he would want to do that. That's very, I understand. It's you love this woman and she died and you have the ability to make a person. So I understand the want to do it. But it is a fucked up thing to do. It's just let her existence end when it ended. Don't.
It takes away her autonomy. It takes there's now just someone living out in the world as her, but she's no longer here, and there's just something really fucked up to that.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's cute. I don't think it's romantic. I don't think it's sweet. I think it's fucking creepy and it's selfish.
Yeah. And from everything she's said, it doesn't sound like she'd be the type of person to be cool with that.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you 100%.
I think her finding out personally would literally completely destroy her identity.
Yes, yeah.
Yep.
Troy was right about it, that it would be devastating.
Yeah. And
absolutely.
But what Dory and I are talking about, our specific is not that. It's not about whether to tell her or not to tell her. We're just talking about the initial thing of Dr. Soon making her.
Yes. I mean, he made her against her will
Yeah.
in the end.
Yeah.
And
It's just fucking creepy and gross.
It's
But
just like Dr. Soon to not give her a choice.
Yes, yeah. And I fully agree with you that I think her learning that she's an android would, fucking completely destroy her. I agree.
Yeah, it would be the existential crisis of all existential crises.
Yeah. The thing that...
I also think I would be the same way. I would not want to know if I'm an android. So no one tell me.
Yeah. The thing that bothers me, though, is that I do think it would destroy her, but because this is Star Trek and because of the technological abilities, and I know the point was that Data would have to make a difficult decision in which there really isn't a right or wrong answer. But I feel like she again was not given any agency in this decision. Mm-hmm. It's because I would want to know. I'm on Dr. C's side, where it's I think you deserve to know the truth, right? I'm always that type of person. So my workaround would be you have the Soon hologram, which can answer questions. You can just be like, hey, is there a way to wipe her memory if she finds out? You know? Because then you can approach her and be like, do you want to know? You know? If you...
Well, we don't really know how complex the android is, to be fair.
That's what I'm
or
saying.
Not the android, sorry, the program.
Yeah. But I feel like you could have thrown a couple lines in there where it's like, at least give us him saying, no, that's not possible. You know? Yeah. Like, once she, like, it's not possible to erase her memories without resetting the whole thing or whatever. Because then it gives the stakes of, like, you know, because if you can reset her memory, then you can just ask her, and if it's too much for her, you can erase her memory, and we know what she would want.
There's actually a dropped plot thread in the episode about Pran distrusting androids.
Yeah.
And no one's really sure where that plot thread would have led eventually, but there is a moment where he's like on the bridge and being like, hey, shouldn't somebody double check this Data guy's work? He's an android after all. And they never go anywhere with that. And like, because they didn't go anywhere with it, they could have just left that scene out.
Yeah.
But I realized there was other important things in the scene they needed, but if let's say everything was perfect, okay, and they knew that they weren't going to include that plot thread from the very beginning, they might have cut it in editing, who knows. So if they had not included that one scene, it's enough to add a little bit of a speculation there, but also like bringing that up would diminish the drama of the finality of it.
It does, but it does give a little bit of flavor into that, like, you know, he would probably not be thrilled to find out his wife's an android.
Yes. That's true.
It does bother me a little bit, though, that he wasn't involved in the decision making. Like, that is her husband, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess telling him is a complicated matter, but, like, I feel like that's her husband. That's who she's spending her time with. Like, he, like, if she was, you know, an organic being, you know, he would probably be the one to make, you know, medical decisions for her while she's incapacitated. Which,
I'm gonna be honest,
I feel like this is a parallel.
I don't think they should have kept the husband character. He really didn't serve a purpose in the story except for one scene where he's where he was somebody that she was talking to, so that he could bring up a problem so that Data and her could have a discussion about it. But like, other than that, he could have been anyone. He didn't have to be her husband.
Yeah, I legitimately didn't know it was her husband until they literally mention it.
Yeah, there's no relationship shown on screen between the two of them.
Yeah. His character is superfluous.
Yeah.
Dory, what's because I think we might have accidentally cut you off, but like, what's your opinion on the decision that they made about, like, not telling her and stuff?
I think it probably would have. I mean, here's the thing. I'm a little bit biased because I don't think I would want to know.
Yeah.
But I think based on everything I know about Juliana, I don't think she should. I don't think they should tell her.
Yeah.
I think, well, right now, I think maybe one day, I feel like Data could do it. But I think right now, everything is like, let it cook. Let her cook with Data for a little bit.
Yeah.
Let them get to know each other more. And then maybe they'll be at a point in the relationship where he can, you know, tell her this. But I think in this exact moment of time, I do not think I think it was the right call to not tell her.
Yeah.
I think in the future they should, but I don't think right now.
Yeah. And I also
it would
agree.
wreck me. Don't ever tell me. Don't ever tell me. I never want to know. But
we won't.
But
we won't tell you the horrible truth that you're an android.
Good. I couldn't handle it. I spiral so quickly about the littlest things that this would only make it worse.
Yeah.
She spirals quickly too. Like I noticed that throughout the episode, that like every time there is an emotional discussion, she is very emotional, but they're also deliberately putting Data, like the script is deliberately putting Data in situations where he has to relay information that's very emotional and has no reaction to it. And it's like, unfortunately, I feel like the episode is treating Data a little bit like season 1 Data, because like Data doesn't understand feeling emotions. But at this point in the show, he understands what it's like to feel an emotion, and he understands that other people feel them, and he's just showing no tact instead.
Yeah, he understands the importance of delivering, like, heavy news delicately.
Yes, and he's not doing that in this episode. It's kind of rewinding time a little bit for him in terms of his character.
Yeah, I don't think it's too far off, but he does feel a little more matter of fact than where I feel he's developed at this point.
But like, I understand why they're doing that, and
Yeah.
like I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing that they're doing that. But this episode might have done better in like season 4 or 5 than it did here.
Yeah.
Just because of that. But it like I don't think that takes away from the episode. I think it's something I noticed while we were watching it every time that one of those scenes came up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention that I like in this situation, I think I mentioned before, I don't think there is a right or wrong answer. Like, I think either decision, like, you know, it's complicated, right? So I don't think either decision is right or wrong. But I agree that telling her would probably be too much for her. But I also agree with Picard in that, like, hey, this is an issue that could come up again. So
Yes.
we've got to figure out how that's going to be dealt with, you know?
And then they don't.
Yeah, because you could make use of the husband character in telling him, and then he can deal with any future issues if the truth comes out, you know, if she's discovered.
That said, him being a husband, I mean, what happens when that goes through him?
Yeah.
Hey, your wife is a robot. Oh.
Yeah. I know.
Fuck. I mean, then again, he
Yeah.
seems to be almost emotionless anyway. Hey-oh.
Yeah. But like I said, I think, I don't know, because I'm sort of torn between like I do feel like this is an issue just between her and Data, but I also feel like, hey, that's her life partner. Maybe he should know this about her.
Yeah,
And
okay, good point.
be included in this process. You know?
I mean, if they had kept that him mistrusting androids story in, then Data not telling him would what do you call it? Would both devastate him when he finds out because she's an android.
Yeah.
But then also he would think, wait a minute, Data must have known, and he
Yeah.
would mistrust them even more.
Yeah.
And potentially abandon his wife in that moment. I'm glad they didn't keep that plot thread in.
Yeah. And like I do understand there's probably like there's concerns about if you tell him, like, is he gonna keep this to himself or not, you know?
Yeah.
And then if he's like if he doesn't want to keep it like a secret, then that ruins any chance she has of like just living like, you know, it living as a human. So I guess there is that aspect to it. I just have conflicting feelings about it, because I do feel like, you know, Data is like, you know, her son in a way, but like this is, like I said, this is her life partner, you know.
That said, I don't love the what is the word for it? What's the word for a phrase that's kind of like tired and overused?
Cliche.
Yeah, there's one more word that's similar to cliche that I'm thinking of.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Platitude. There we go.
Platitude, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there is a platitude that that Troy brings up in her phrasing about Data's humanity, because like obviously like what is humanity is something that comes up in Star Trek all the fucking time. And it's never like Star Trek came out in the 90s, so it was very much into metaphysics and like that attitude of what it means to be human and all of that.
Yeah, it was
But
very into exploring the human condition.
Yeah, and I mean that was also as a humanist, that was also a Gene Roddenberry thing.
Yeah.
But when she points out that by telling her you're robbing her of the one thing you've wanted all your life, to be human, and it's like, well, that logic kind of implies that
but
Data knowing what he is means he can never truly be human.
Yeah,
which
Yeah.
I don't love that.
Yeah. The problem,
And that's because she's citing a platitude in the end.
Yeah.
Like this is the kind of phrase that has been used to describe so many different things in fiction before.
Yeah,
Where,
and
if you tell them the truth, you're taking away something from them. It's like, well, no.
Yeah, I agree with you. The issue I had with that, what she said, was that it implies that Juliana's wants are identical to Data's wants.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's like we don't.
That's a very good point.
Like, oh, you're robbing her of the thing like you've always wanted, and it's like, yeah, but she's not him.
Yeah,
like,
she has her own wants and desires.
Yeah, and it's like I mean, it's. I just like. It does make sense in a way of like I just don't think the phrasing's the best, because I agree it's like, oh, you're kind of you're robbing her by telling her you're robbing her of her chance to just live as a human, like without any barriers to it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, in the end, what it means to be human is obviously something that is at the core of this episode, even though it's not necessarily what the theme of the episode is or what's being discussed. But it is interesting that the episode does put out, or not necessarily this episode, but this episode and the ones that it's connected to, the prequels to it or whatever, they do put out that Dr. Soong had a very specific view of what it means to be human, and that view does transcend what you're made out of. It's made up of the way you behave. It's made up of your memories. That's a really big one for Soong. Memories being like defining who you are, your experiences in life. And that's one of the reasons that he intended for Data to grow and get enough experience that he would be indistinguishable from a human.
Yeah.
And like I don't disagree with that attitude. I quite like it, because it leaves it leaves the question kind of ambiguous a little bit, where like it allows Data to be human when he feels that he has achieved being human. And I think that's a really important way to look at it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that this episode kind of solidified that, even if it does make it clear that is Noonien Soong's view, not necessarily the view that the show is taking of it.
Yeah.
I mean, given what Troy said.
Yeah. And I don't, like, when I watch this episode, I don't think it's necessarily like a, like, oh, we have a specific philosophy or a lesson we're trying to get through. I think it,
No.
I do think it's purely like a just, like, let's explore Data's character, or let's add to his character sort of thing, which I enjoy.
Yeah, and I think it did that, maybe not in as powerful a way as it could have, because things like Data being in a position where he has to lie is something that we've seen before. Data being in a position where he has to deal with the with the possible death of a family member is something that he's had to deal with before, and I don't know. I think in the end, this episode doesn't have nearly as much impact as many of the other ones about Data realizing who his family is. And I think a lot of that is because of Data's reactions in the episode, because in those other episodes, he does have what can be interpreted as emotional reactions to moments.
Yeah.
And in this one, he doesn't.
Yeah. And I do like this episode. It's not like, my most favorite episode or anything, but I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But it does not really have much of a point. It adds...
No, that's true.
It adds a little bit more flavor and information to Data's character and his history, but it doesn't... It is kind of a pointless episode, in my opinion.
Yeah, the climax is, surprise, Data's mom wasn't his mom, and it's like, oh,
and
all right.
and that aspect I also feel like is kind of pointless, but I don't think that's necessarily a negative. It's just a fact, right?
Yes.
I agree with that. It's it is still subjective, right? Like, you can, people have different interpretations that probably, can imbue this with more of a purpose. But it's just, it's a neutral statement is what I mean.
Right.
On my part, that the episode's pointless. Because what they do give us, I think, is, it's good enough that the fact that it doesn't really have a point is okay. If you're giving us, good stuff, I think that what this adds to Data's character does, round him out more, and it just gives more life to his full character. But this episode did not feel like it had much of a goal.
No,
I think is probably
I
the
definitely
way to put
agree
it.
with that. Aside from, being a, what do you call it, being a solid 45 minutes of TV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely not bad by any stretch of the term.
Yeah.
I don't know, Dory. I know that when we went through the when we went through the predictions for the episode, as soon as Maggie mentioned that Data meets his mother, you were just like, okay. But what'd you end up thinking of it in the end?
I mean, I don't remember what my prediction was.
Well, I don't remember what
Relating
the
to
prediction
this?
was either. I remember you sighing and verbally rolling your eyes at the concept.
Yeah.
I don't know. Here's the thing. I mean, I didn't dislike this episode. I wrote in my note, I gave it a 6.5/7.
Okay.
So I liked it. The plot twist I enjoyed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think though we're so fucking late in the game to have new
surprise
lore
family
like
member.
this. Yeah. I feel like this could have been something to build up to finally telling her. But I don't know. I mean, it's fine, I guess. Data has someone new to talk to. The actress had truly a wild transatlantic accent.
Yeah.
Because I do not think it was
she's,
British. It really sounded like unless her it was a situation of she's English, but she spent so much time in the States that the accent has.
It is the transatlantic accent.
Nice.
You know what's funny about her actually? This is not even her first time in Star Trek this year.
Oh, wild.
Yeah, she was in a DS9 episode before this.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's fine. I think there was certain things with this I didn't love, I don't like Dr. Soong. He sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's weird. He's
to be
gross.
fair, he's meant to suck. At least the show acknowledges that he sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel though I enjoyed the plot twist that she's an android, I think there was so much weird shit of the way that she behaved that I kept waiting for malicious intent to happen. When in the scene when Geordi is why would someone pretend to be your mom? I was like, oh, I've got ideas. Hold on, let me go to that page. I have theories why someone would pretend to be Data's mom. Oh, I thought maybe she wants control of Data. Maybe if she says she created him, they would, pass him over to her and take away his autonomy or something. Data is a powerful, I don't want to say tool because he's not a tool, but he is, an asset.
Yeah.
An asset to wherever he is, whatever he is part of. And I could see someone wanting to take advantage of that or try to, bullshit some authority to try to, like, for selfish reasons, to take him away from this. And so, I don't know. I feel like, though the plot twist, I don't know, that I was shocked that she's an android, I feel like it was also kind of like, I mean, I get it. Like, you don't have too many things going on. But I was kind of, by the end of it, I was like, okay. Like, that's kind of it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, in terms of a lot of, like, the episodes we've seen this season, it's fine. I'll take it compared to a lot of what we've seen.
Yeah, and I think that's, like, my opinion as well. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's,
yeah, I think that's kind of it for me for this episode.
Yeah, it's watchable.
I don't know what else. Yeah, it's fine.
Mm-hmm. Jeff, is there any, like, interesting background on this episode?
Actually, no, there's very little about this episode besides that dropped plot thread that I mentioned.
Right.
The episode is an idea that had come up at least a year before, and they pulled it out of mothballs to make it work here. But that's been a lot of scripts in the last, like, 2 seasons or so that it makes a lot of sense. Because they had a lot of writers' retreats and things like that, and they had a lot of ideas that they wanted to make use of.
Yeah, like I think we've mentioned before, like, in season 7, you can clearly see they're starting to run out of ideas. They're just, they're really reaching on some of these.
Well, it's not just that. It's also that the writer's room is, like, they do realize that they're coming up on the end. They knew beforehand, this is our final season, we're going to end it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like the show's going downhill, we're going to end it. It's, no, we feel like we've done a good run, and now we're going to split into other ideas. And, like, so they started, like, DS9 is, as of this season, currently running alongside TNG. So that's something that's going on.
That's true.
I think they're, like, 2 or 3 months into DS9 at this point, actually.
All right. So I think then this is a good spot to move on to favorite moments and lines.
I like when Data was showing Juliana his art stuff. His art, his music. Nice shout out to Lol. I did like the plot twist. I like that we got a bridge, like a group scene in the conference room. I don't know. I did, mark a bunch of lines, but it wasn't because I necessarily liked them. It was more of the vein of, like, like quotes that were relevant to the story.
That were important.
So, yeah. So I don't really have a whole lot.
That's fair. I think my favorite thing was I think it was the exchange that him and Juliana had about creativity. And I liked his line about how, when he's being creative, it's like, he thinks it's, like, the closest he's ever experienced to, like, really being human. So I like that. That was my favorite bit. I also, like, I liked the subtle signs that they put leading up to sort of clue you in that there was something suspicious about her. Like, where Data is, like, kind of thrown off by how fast she did the math and, like, the close-up on her eyes and stuff like that.
Oh, I'll tell you something I didn't like.
Yeah?
I didn't like that Dr. C, again, went against medical ethics and gave Data her medical records. I didn't like that. Dr. C, why do you put me in this position?
Oh, sorry, there was one thing I wanted to bring up, but I forgot. Jeff, if you remember when we did that, when we went to the premiere of Discovery and we did the bar quiz, and one of the questions was how many Soon-type androids are out there. And I think everyone forgot about Juliana.
Yeah, I think you're correct. Yeah.
Anyway,
that's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's just this episode obviously reminded me of that.
I mean, that quiz had a bunch of things wrong with it anyway.
Yeah.
So there was that.
We may have talked about this on the podcast before, but the way the quiz worked is like you filled out the questions and then you handed it to another team and they marked it for you. So there was one. Of course, this happened in a bar full of fucking Star Trek nerds. But there was one question where the answer was fucking wrong. Like the people administer,
like the correct answer. The people who did the quiz that they were incorrect.
Yeah,
about
the people who did the quiz were wrong about the answer. But the people who were marking our test was actually a table full of Klingon cosplayers, which was awesome. They said,
Yes.
"No, we gave you the point because you were right."
Yes. Oh, fuck.
Anyway,
They were
sorry.
heroes of the Empire. Truly.
Yes.
Truly warriors of honor.
Yes.
My favorite moment is when they really obviously paint Vaseline on the fucking lens because Juliana's finding out about Lal for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. When you know the twist about the episode, you start to see like the very typical TV-isms of it, unfortunately, and that ended up frustrating me more than anything else, and I realize that is a me problem.
Yeah.
But it does mean that the episode is really only that decent to watch like the first time when you don't know the twist, and then every time after that you're just looking for the clues.
Yeah.
Now in some movies or TV shows or books or whatever, that can be an asset. I don't feel like it is in this case for some reason. I don't really know why. I don't know if I really have an answer or want to think about it that hard, but my favorite moment is seeing those things and being amused by them more than annoyed.
Yeah. Honestly, like I don't mind it. I don't mind rewatching it because to me it's like the twist is whatever. Like, yeah, I sort of look for the clues a little bit, but it's more just about the character interactions, so I still kind of enjoyed that.
Yeah, it could just be I've seen it too many times.
Yeah. I think I most of the time when this episode comes on my rotation, because I don't usually skip this, but it is usually on in the background.
Right.
And I think one movie where I think the second rewatch or the second watch is really interesting, but I think only twice is the movie interesting, is Shutter Island. Is like you watch you watch it through and it's interesting and you get to the twist and you're like, whoa, and then the rest of the movie happens. The second watch, you're looking for all the clues, and it's very interesting and compelling. But once it gets to the reveal, then the movie is uninteresting. And so
yeah, that's fair.
So 1.5 times I think Shutter Island is interesting. But after that, I don't think it's particularly rewatchable. But I think one rewatch is interesting in terms of like twist. But like I think Sixth Sense is rewatchable, even like more than once. Because
I agree with that.
Because I think it's a compelling movie beyond its twist. You know, Shutter Island I think is all about its twist. But yeah, I think if you have an episode, or like if you have a TV show, an episode, or a movie that has a twist or whatever, sometimes it's like, I think the biggest detriment is when they make it like all about the twist. And it's like, it still has to be compelling beyond that too. Like the twist adds something to it, but it shouldn't be the only thing.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because, like, when you were talking about movies having twists and stuff and how they can still be compelling, and I just had that thought. But we're going to move on now to predictions for the next episode. So, Dory, the next episode is called Parallels, and it is a Worf episode. So I will read from the Netflix description because I like the way they've written it. Upon his return from a Bat'leth competition in the Klingon Empire, Worf notices changes among the Enterprise crew.
Okay. Changes among the crew.
Changes. Sorry.
What? What would they change? What?
Yeah. So he comes back and he's like, the crew seem off. So what do you think that's about?
Maybe they... Okay, I'm going crazy left field here. Mm-hmm. What if they don't see him? What if he's fucking invisible or something? And he just thinks like, oh, that's so weird. Why is no one like acknowledging me or something? Yeah, what... I know you said what happened with the crew, but maybe that's what's weird. If they changes is that they don't see him or something.
So then, okay, so if he's invisible, why do you think he's invisible?
Did he win the competition, did you say?
No, I just said he came back from a competition.
Oh, okay. I'm going to assume maybe he won, and then maybe the people who he beat put like, a spell or some kind of thing on him, so no one can see him. And he's trying to be like, you guys, why isn't anyone listening to me?
That old Star Trek trope of a spell being cast.
Yeah. Spells.
Well, I mean, the stupid bullshit they do might as well be spells, so...
Yeah. So, or it's like maybe someone slips something in his pocket and it's like almost like a shield of him, so like you can't see because this device is in his pocket or something.
Okay.
But like he doesn't know he's invisible.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so okay, I think that's enough actually. Yeah. So So you think that he comes back, people aren't acknowledging him, and it turns out that he's invisible, and that someone at the competition was like jealous and did this to him.
Yes.
Okay.
Alternatively, my second thought is, what if everyone is someone else? What if everyone is pretending to be each other? Like everyone...
Like a body swap episode?
Yes, which I don't love, but... you know what? I don't like that prediction.
Okay.
No body swap. But okay, what if everyone's just in a different outfit? What if they're just in different outfits? Yeah,
right.
That's what I'm going with.
And
Either
Worf's
invisible or everyone's in different outfits.
Yeah, and Worf is like, what the fuck, you went to the mall without me?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, if you want to see if Dory's correct, watch along with us and join us for the next episode of Fully Functional, a TNG podcast.
Goodbye.